What I say to you, I say to all. Watch. It's one of the shortest phrases that Jesus utters in the New Testament. Watch. Hold vigil. Be ready. Because at the moment we are not ready, that is when the Lord will return. Over the last 5 years, I've had a tradition with my family that after Thanksgiving, I take the next 2 days and we will take my nieces and nephews out into the woods to camp out for 2 days. We call it cousin camp. And it's not really restful, but it is fun. It's a good time we get together. And one of those activities that we do when we are in the woods is we play paintball. It's a wonderful way to get out your aggression, especially when you hear voices constantly shouting your name for this or that. Now you go into the woods and everybody's on a level playing field, so to speak. And so, as we were playing on Friday, I was all set up. I had my plan. And my plan was to get behind this pile of sticks that we had made, and I would sit there, and I would just wait for them to use up all their ammunition, and then I would make an assault on their compound, and subsequently take over and win. Now, my one nephew couldn't participate this year. Mason broke his hand. And he's a good kid. He's really a sensitive kid and just loving, 12-year-old. But he couldn't play, and he really wanted to. So we made some allowances here, and we said, here's what you can do. You can be on the sideline between the two teams, and you'll get 20 paintballs. That's it. And so if you can shoot the person in the front or the side, then you can shoot them. You can't shoot them in the back. And so he was agreeable to this. So the game began, and I finally get to my little defensive area. I'm pretty much well protected, so I sit there and I just wait. Now, amidst all the layers that we put on to protect ourselves from these things, the snowsuit that I was wearing and everything else, there's about 2 inches on my neck that was unprotected. But what are the odds that someone could hit that? So I'm waiting patiently. I hear the paintballs coming by, and I'm planning my next move, thinking about how well I planned this whole thing out and how good I was, when all of a sudden pain exploded on the side of my neck. And I fell back, and I'm screaming because it hurt and everything. And then I look over to where Mason is sitting, and I see a look of sorrow and horror on his face, because he knows once I get up. And that is this mark on the side of my neck, lest you think it's from something else. So I wanted to stop those rumors right away and let you know where that came from. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is he going to make a lesson out of this? Watch. Be alert. Because the moment you least expect it, you get shot in the neck, in the side. Now, it's interesting because I had planned ahead, and I thought I was pretty good. I only left 2 inches exposed on my whole body, and I thought, what are the odds that someone could actually hit there? And we do this. We really do. We have all of our ducks lined up. We have all of our securities in place. Maybe even our retirement is all figured out. But we've left most vulnerable sometimes the thing that really does matter most. We've left that vulnerable. And we may say, yeah, I do most things well, but I have this one thing, or this is my vice, or this is where I'm lacking in my spiritual life. But I'll take care of that later. I have time. I've planned all these other things, so I should be good. I'll have time. Watch, because you do not know the day or the hour. And so this is a wonderful time as we begin not only a new church year, but a new translation for the Roman Missal. That we have to look at these cards to pray the prayers that for so many years we did from memory. And I think that's unfortunate in a certain way, because we would just come in and, like so much poetry that's been memorized, we would rattle off the prayers. Now we have to think, and we really have to focus and concentrate. And maybe through doing this, we can grow deeper in our faith in a way that we might not have thought possible, or maybe in a way that we never would have done on our own. We have to be alert and awake. That's what the Lord is asking us to do. We're going to have to look at the card. We're going to have to think about what we're saying. Even during the most important time of the Mass, during the celebration of the Eucharist, we will have to be focused. You know, our Lord is coming, and we have to think how we're preparing. And I'll repeat what I said a few weeks ago. Perhaps we have to prepare less for Christmas and more for the coming of Christ. As I returned yesterday, I read some of the stories and some of the awful things that happened on Black Friday. I mean, these are people crawling over each other to get products. These are people standing in long lines, holding vigil from midnight in order to get deals. One woman pepper sprayed someone. Another one out in LA was shot. I mean, really? This is how Jesus wants us to prepare for his coming? I don't think so. Now, I could be wrong, but come on. How are we preparing, not for Christmas? Preparing for Christmas is easy. Put up some lights, make some cookies, send out your cards. How are we preparing for the Christ? That's a lot more difficult. What sacrifices are we making? What planning are we doing in order to be ready for when he comes unannounced? Because at the very least, if we're not going to do it for some spiritual reason, at least we should do it to cover our neck. God bless you.